What did they vote? They're taking an old religion, then with a different name, and we're cutting our own incision, and showing that hurt and pain. There's another innocent victim, shivering in the frigid cold. They're making a dirty fortune, some of us paying their trouble, man. I am looking for trouble. For trouble, man. For trouble.
Thanks, guys. This is Audiotree Live with Titus Andronicus. How's everyone doing?
Feeling great.
Feeling
what a
good?
treat being here at Audiotree. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
You're coming off last night. You played a sold-out show at Empty Bottle.
That's right. Sold every last ticket there was.
Every single last
and
ticket.
then some.
You are on, I don't know if this is an exaggeration or not, but a 63-city tour?
63 cities, that's right.
That's all of them. So multiple cities
Every
in one
city,
state.
yeah.
That's pretty much every city. Are you hitting any weird cities that
Well,
are
there
not
are
the
no
normal
weird
ones?
cities. Only weird people.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
But yeah, we're going everywhere you can name. We're going to North Dakota and South Dakota.
all
you
of the
know,
North
we're doing
and South states.
Miami, Gainesville, Orlando, and Tampa.
So
We're
why
doing North Carolina and South Carolina. You name it.
No Alaska
We're going to
this
Walla
time.
Walla.
no Alaska?
No Alaska this
No,
time.
no,
Oh,
no,
what a
nor
shame.
Hawaii.
That would take a long time to get to, I guess.
Nor Idaho or Wyoming or Delaware, but like
So why
human
why
after
such a
all.
long tour? That's a pretty long time to be on
it's
the
a
road.
little, it's a little bit long. What can I say? Like the people in South Dakota, like it's not their fault that they live in a small, lightly populated city. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
state, I suppose.
They deserve music as well.
That's right, they do. Like, and it's fun to play in Chicago, do a sold-out empty bottle. Like that's dope. The bottle was far from empty last night, but Chicago people don't necessarily deserve the rock and roll entertainment more than the people of South Dakota, you know, so we got to do it.
So what's the difference between your live shows, maybe at Empty Bottle when it's sold out, and then playing to a crowd in North Dakota?
Right, single-digit audience
Yeah, for sure.
at the aquarium in Fargo. You know, I mean, like, we try to minimize that difference as much as we can because, you know, it's the, like I say, you know, it's the right thing to do. And it's the Lord's work, as was taught to us by Black Flag and the rest of them.
Absolutely. Well, if you guys want to go into your next song, go ahead.
Should we, fellas? Why don't we do a song from an album that we put out last year called A Productive Cough, if that's okay, still available from the good people at Merge Records. We'll do a little song for you called Above the Bodega, if that's all right, because that's where I live back home, you know. Okay. You ready, fellas?
Yep.
I am. One, two, I can keep a secret from my mama. I can keep a secret from my pa. I keep myself out of trouble. Oh yeah, stay one step ahead of the law. And I can keep it from my neighbors. And like they even care. But I can't keep a secret from the guy at the store downstairs. No, I can't. Hey, it's the patronage of strangers that's keeping me from being broke. But when they hand over the paycheck to me, I don't wonder where it goes, because I never seem to save it. I saw it wasting on clothes or soap, and it's a mystery to you, but there's a guy at the store that knows. 'Cause by 11 in the morning,
there to see me buying cigarettes. He's there to see me buying beer. He's never seen me on the internet. Not yet. At 5 o'clock is nowhere near. Whatever it takes, I mean the weekend. And if you can walk a couple floors, take that 3-story tour and make sure you're talking money when you're rocking with the boss at the stove. I'm rocking with the boss. I can't keep a secret from the guy at the stove. No, I can't keep a secret. Hey, I couldn't lie anymore. No, I can't keep a secret from the guy at the stove. I try like before. 'Cause you can lie with your expression, or lie with the things you say, but you can't lie with your dollars. Now, baby, your dollars, they give you away. And the faces on the paper, oh, the faces from the paper glare. Yeah, that's why I can't keep a secret from the guy at the store downstairs. And the money in the pocket, and there's a fire burning there. That's why I can't keep a secret from the guy at the store downstairs. Yeah, it's glaringly apparent why I can't keep a secret from the guy at the store downstairs. So why should I attempt it when I can't keep a secret from the guy at the store downstairs? The guy at the store. Yeah.
All right, this is Audiotree Live with Titus Andronicus. So you guys just recorded your new album at Electrical Audio.
That's correct. Right here in Chicago. The new
Yeah.
album, An Obelisk.
Yeah, absolutely. That came out in June, correct?
Sure did.
How was the experience at Steve Albini's recording studio?
Oh my God, that sure is a nice place. Let me tell you, like, to think that such a beautiful, fancy, exquisite studio could have been built without the sort of soul-destroying compromises that usually come along with creating anything high class. We all know, Mr. Albini obviously has conducted his career with a great deal of integrity, and it really, really makes you think. Like maybe we don't have to make all those sorts of compromises. We made a few compromises, obviously.
For sure.
We're as complicit in capitalism as the next rock band, but
Well,
nice studio. That's what I'm saying. In Chicago,
did
it's
you
my
guys
kind
stay
of
there
town,
and everything? Did the whole experience?
I'm sorry.
You guys stayed on premise and everything. I know.
I
they
didn't.
Have,
I only left the building once.
that
The
seems
rest
to
of
be,
y'all went out to the restaurants and stuff.
Went out once every day or two.
How long were you recording for?
6 whole days. Let me tell you, it got boring after a while.
Oh yeah,
6
it's a long
days
time to be
live.
cooped up in one place.
It didn't really get boring. I'm just goofing around. 6 days isn't a terribly long time to make a record.
So this is the 6th record that you guys have put out.
That's right.
Correct? Yeah, that's
Gee whiz.
And
Makes me feel old.
well, if you guys want to go on to your next song, go ahead.
Yeah, why don't we do a song from that album, An Obelisk? Get that Chicago sound going on for Mr. Albini. Wait a second, though. Weren't you telling me something about your relationship with Mr. Albini earlier? Or was
Well,
that way
I
off the
don't know
record?
him personally, but my dad did drum with him.
Wow. On the Bulldozer EP, isn't that correct?
That is correct,
There's
yes.
a feather in your cap for sure. As long as we're shouting out the parents, I got to give a shout out to my stepmother, Vicky Stickles, whose birthday is today. Love you, Vicky. Thank you for the substantial role you played in raising me and for all the love you've given. I love you. Vicky, my stepmother. Tremendous woman, a living saint. Anyway, here's that song from An Obelisk. And it's called I Blame Society. You want to do it, fellas? 1, 2, 3, I blame society. Society's to blame. I claim society. It's playing a hostile game inside my diary.
with Titus Andronicus. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you. This is fun.
Yeah, this is your third record with Merge Records.
That is correct.
Cool. I was watching your short film that you guys did.
Oh, the sitcom pilot,
Stacks,
you mean?
yes.
Yeah.
It was great. I also just love, like, at the beginning, you're on a phone call and it's just Merge being like,
Yeah,
we need you to do something.
They're real good sports, you know. They'll do almost anything I ask.
So was this like...
Wouldn't be part of my business model if I ran a record company, you know, but thank heaven for them.
Oh, yeah.
They let us get away with murder.
I mean, so it's like basically like a 30-minute sitcom of you, like, getting interviewed. You guys have a practice.
Yes,
You're
yes.
playing dice before practice,
Yes,
which
yes.
is my favorite bar game until someone tells me that I can't put money on the table anymore. That
wouldn't happen with this crowd, let me tell you. You can
So-
roll with us in the alley later.
Caught us in electrical audio, yeah. In the basement.
That was the thing when we were at Electrical Audio. My big fantasy was that if we ran into Steve Albini, I was going to say, I hear you're a pretty big-time high-stakes gambler. I know you play poker, but what do you think about shaking some dice with us? $50 buy-in.
$50.
Never did run into Mr. Albini, unfortunately, but that would have been exciting.
That would be too much. $50 is too much for a game of dice.
Not for Mr. Albini, it isn't. I
Probably
gotcha.
not, yeah.
He's thrown down cards for 150 G's. Jeepers creepers. No wonder
So-
that studio's so nice, huh?
The video, though, is that like something you guys like to do a lot? Is like make comedy videos and...
Well, that was the first sitcom pilot that we ever have
Oh,
shot
just the
thus
first
far.
one.
You know, it would be great
Yes.
to get a full series order from like Hulu or something. But I got to tell you, I should, much credit is due to our very good friend Ray Concepcion, who is our longtime filmmaking partner, and he directed that sitcom as well as a bunch of other videos, almost all the videos we've been doing the past 4 years. So, when you got a talented guy like him, you don't want to do just the same thing over and over again because he can do anything. So,
You guys
big
cut
shout
a
out to Ray
music
Concepcion.
video.
Love you, buddy.
You cut a music video like in the middle of that, right?
Yeah, a few of them.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
that was
like
the
two.
idea. Like the sitcom pilot was basically like, it has its own merits, but it's sort of a delivery system for more traditional music videos.
Yeah.
Because just to like a music video of us in the practice space rocking, like that might not be quite as interesting out of context,
Cool. Well, I thought it
You
was
got to
great.
do whatever it takes to cut through the noise. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for interrupting.
Oh, no. It's fine. You guys go into your next song.
Interrupting is rude. As long as we're talking about Merge Records, though, and their infinite patience, let's throw it back to 2015 when they let us do something truly outrageous and release a triple LP rock opera from a basically untested and obscure band. Like, that's a strange choice for a record label, but sure am grateful, though. Thank you, Merge Records. So this one is called Fatal Flaw.
She's looking after me. She doesn't know the kind of things I could do if I lose control. I'm letting out the beast. He's free, unleashed when she freak. When she sees
Andronicus on Audiotree Live.
That's us.
So you also worked with Bob Mould on this new record.
Very true. He produced it. Bob Mould of Husker Du and Sugar and Solo fame.
So how was your... Because I know your last record was sort of like a stripped-down version, just two members playing. So what was the writing process?
The tour was like that. The record had a bunch of people on it, but it is
Got
true
it,
that
okay.
that was slightly more acoustic, so to speak. This record is raw.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the difference in your writing process? And did you know that like Bob Mould would be jumping on after you wrote it or during or...
Well, actually, the two records that we're talking about, this one, an Obelisk, and the previous one, a Productive Cough, they were written concurrently with each other in accordance with this master plan that, maybe it would behoove us to put out two records in quick succession, one per year, one more acoustic or one more rock, as a way to, display the complete spectrum of Titus Andronicus' artistic interests. But as far as getting Bob Mould involved, like, that was only a fantasy. I've admired and studied the man for a long time, as we all have. And but I read a magazine article with him a few years ago where the writer was grilling him about contemporary bands that he liked, and Titus Andronicus was mentioned. And I was like, jeepers. And so after cornering the writer at an industry event and making him swear that he wasn't exaggerating and hyperbolizing and creating false misinformation like writers will do, and that Bob Mould did indeed praise the band. Then I talked to my other buddy, Michael Azarad, who is the co-author / editor of Bob Mould's memoir. And I told him what I was thinking about, and he said, well, I'll ask Bob, because he's my buddy, I'll ask him if it would be okay to give you his email address. And so I, took a wild swing and emailed Mr. Mould and said, would you ever consider producing this record for us? And indeed, he said he would, and his reply email basically laid out the whole plan, where we would record it, what engineer we'd use, how long it would take, what airline we would fly him out on, the whole bit. And this was basically the dream, because this is a dude that's made like 40 albums
For sure.
or something, like, all great. So we were like, clearly, this dude knows something we don't. Like, this is a man that knows how to make a rock record, so he's obviously got a well-tested system. Wouldn't it be great if we could just get plugged into that system? And that's basically what happened.
That's
Blessed.
great. It might be like crazy just to read something about someone you really admire and they mention you.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
was
just
nuts.
like
That's a day I'll never forget.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Bob Mould. You're a wonderful man. He's a nice guy, too.
Cool.
You'd think with a work ethic and a rigorous adherence to high standards that he'd be a bit of a hard ass, but it's not so. He's actually a really sweet, warm, affable, and approachable guy.
It's good to know.
Yeah, it's awesome. One of the great experiences of my life,
If you guys want to go into your final song,
Yeah, yes.
go ahead.
Why don't we go ahead and do one last song from the that album that was produced by the great Bob Mould and engineered by the great Bo Sorensen, I should say, right here in Chicago. This is the last track on the album, as well as the last track of this session, and it is called Tumult Around the World. You ready, fellas?
Tumult around the world. Tumult around the world. Everywhere there's someone suffering. Tumult around the world. Everywhere there's someone hurting.
guys so much.
There's Chris Wilson on drums over there, RJ Gordon on bass, and the romantic boy Liam Betson on guitar. Thank you, Audiotree.
This has been Audiotree Live with Titus Andronicus. You can catch them on tour as they make their way through the rest of the 63 cities.
Yeah, TitusAndronicus.net/tour for those dates and ticket links. See you there.
You can support the band by downloading this session when it comes out in a couple of weeks. And thank you. What's up?
We get paid for that?
Yeah, we split the profits half and half with the band. It's also going to be on all streaming services. And thank you to camera, light, sounds, everyone at Audiotree, and have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, y'all.
All right, so you guys want to do it for real now?